Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this channel. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. The few of us here, thank you so much for always coming back. I see that we are gradually increasing and we are getting there. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to say something that most people wouldn't like. You see, not everyone who wants to relocate abroad should relocate. And the biggest mistake that most people make is, you know, having this mindset of, let me just get there first. Any way is a way. And that, you see, that's that um, escape mindset, which is not good. It's not a good mindset to have when you want to relocate abroad because at some point you might get stuck. And you see, that mindset alone has destroyed the relocation dreams and plans of so many people. People have lost millions of naira. Some people have ended up in countries that they never planned or even dreamed of going to. And some people have also ended up in situations that are even worse than the countries that they are trying to escape from. So today I want to talk about something important. And I would say don't relocate with Japa mentality. Rather, you should relocate with strategy. Yes, relocate with a strategy. Relocation is not wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong about relocation. But relocating without direction is dangerous. And that's where the problem begins. From my experience talking to people online, many people online, I've noticed that people who want to relocate fall into two categories of people. The first category of people are the educated groups. These are people who already have bachelor's, master's, HND, OND, professional certificates. These people already have qualifications that can open up great doors to them globally. But then they still approach relocation the wrong way. The second category is the skilled but uncertified groups. These are people without formal degrees or certificate, but then these ones have real skills. I'm speaking of electricians, mechanics, tailors, drivers, hairdressers, technicians, and all the list of skilled individuals. These people also have valuable skills, which are in demand in so many countries, but they still do not realize that they have valuable skills that are needed in certain countries. And sometimes they don't realize that those skills can actually be used to migrate legally because they look down on themselves and they look at themselves as people who are unqualified, probably because they don't have um, the certificates. But the funny thing is that both categories always fall into the same kind of trap. That Japa mentality. Let me just leave this country first. And that's where the problem begins. And the thing is, when someone has this I want to leave this, I want to leave by any means mindset, their questions begin to sound like this. I beg which country they sure now. I beg which country where I enter sharp sharp. I must leave this country sharp sharp. You know, these things actually put you in a trap because you see that desperation is exactly what scammers are looking for. Because scammers don't target informed people. They don't target people who are informed. They target desperate people. And the more desperate you sound, the easier you are to manipulate. And before you know it, someone introduces you to an agent. And before you know it, the agent is promising you a visa, not like he's a consular or even if he's the consular's mother or brother. And then the agent is promising you a job. The agent is promising you um, chances of 100, how do they even say that? 100% guarantee chances of relocation. And then the agent collects 10 million naira, 15 million naira. In fact, recently I heard of one, a close person who gave away 25 million naira. I will come to that later, maybe in another video. 25 million naira to move abroad. Meanwhile, that same money would have gotten you a passport somewhere else. And then they pay this money and then silence. Next thing you know, the phone is switched off. WhatsApp profile picture vanishes. The agent disappears. Office closed. You can't find anybody. Millions of naira gone. Your relocation plans vanishes. Your relocation dreams destroyed. And this happens every single year. Every single, and I'm sure right now as we are speaking, some people are somewhere negotiating their relocation with tens of millions of naira. Why? Because of ignorance. But here is the painful part. Most of those people could have easily avoided the scam if they did their own research. Today, most people have a smartphone. And These smartphones are actually more powerful than most people realize. So instead of channeling that desperation into paying agents, why don't you channel the desperation into doing research? Research visa types, research relocation pathways, research which countries align with your situation, research the requirements. The internet is full of information. But the problem is many people want speed instead of understanding. And speed is what scammers sell. You get it sharp sharp, 100% guaranteed. Orga Consular. Before I continue, please like this video, share with someone who is really interested in relocating, and kindly subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Let me say something clearly, right? Relocation is not wrong. In fact, relocation has helped many people build better lives. But relocation without direction is like boarding a plane without knowing the destination. I don't know who does that. You might move, but you won't arrive. And that brings me to the third reason why relocating with the Japa mentality can destroy your long-term plans. You see, Japa mentality can land you in the wrong country. And let me explain this. See, after high school, people fall into two groups. Some people already know what they want. They already know the course they want to study. They already know the university they want to attend. They already know what path they want to follow. Then there is another group. This group says any course is fine. Let me just get the admission first. I just want the certificate. Now, understand the difference between the two groups. The first group is intentional, the second group is drifting. Unfortunately, the same thing happens with relocation. Some people relocate with strategy and clarity, another group relocates with confusion and desperation. And that's where you hear questions like which country I go fit hustle, which country person fit enter quick. Yeah, I hear these questions every single day. Let me tell you the truth. Um, you can hustle in any country in the world, including the country that you're trying to live right now. So if you're trying to hustle, location, location will not solve your problem. And this is where many people make very costly mistakes because agents take advantage of that confusion and that desperation. And there are so many stories like this. Someone pays an agent millions of naira, I'm talking of tens of millions of naira, for a visa to Germany. But then the person finds himself in Uzbekistan. Another person pays an agent for UK visa, pays tens of millions for UK visa, UK. But then they find themselves fighting in Ukraine in the front line. I just remembered years ago, someone told me, a lady told me how she started the visa process, paid tens of thousands of dollars, believing that she was going to the UK. And when the process was completed, she found herself in a completely different place, somewhere completely different from what she paid for. I recently spoke with someone else who found himself in the Philippines, and another person whose agent sent to Belarus. Um, well, it's interesting that things that actually happen. You can imagine paying millions to go to one place only to find yourself in a place that is completely different. Now suddenly you are in a country that you know absolutely nothing about. A different language, a different system, different opportunities. Now that is the cost of relocation without strategy. But here is the good news. Even if you find yourself in the wrong place, your story does not end there. If you are already abroad and you feel like you ended up in the wrong country, the first thing I want you to do is relax. There is absolutely no need crying over spilled milk. Instead of seeing that country as a mistake or as a miscalculation or bad luck, start seeing it as a stepping stone. Think about it for a moment. You now have something many people back home don't have: stable electricity, constant access to internet that is reliable internet, and you have access to global information. Use these advantages to re strategize your life. Use that opportunity to research your next step. Now, let me give you some practical steps that you can take if you find yourself in that kind of situation. If you already have a degree, for example, one of the things you can do is to go for the TEFL certification. That is teaching English as a foreign language. Many people don't know this, but Hundreds of people move abroad every year, if not thousands of people who move abroad every single year just to teach abroad. And you may not really require a teaching license to do so. And I'm talking about countries like Japan, China, South Korea, please not North Korea, South Korea, and Thailand. So most of these countries hire teachers from different countries, and most of the jobs come with visa sponsorship. So imagine this: you're currently in a country where you feel stuck, where you feel like, oh, you made a mistake and it wasn't your dream destination. Instead of feeling stuck, all you can do is get TEFL certified or get a certification of some sort and move forward. So you can start teaching online, start building experience, start applying to schools abroad. One day you're going to receive an offer. The school sponsors your visa. Now suddenly your relocation story changes. You move abroad. You now have the proper salary. You have a good resident status, a good salary. You have peace of mind. And from there, the world opens up. Another thing is learn a skill. Degrees are powerful, but skills are also powerful. If you are already abroad, consider learning a certified skill. Many countries are desperately looking for skilled workers. If you become certified in a skill that is in demand, doors start opening. And then you can apply to the countries where those skills are needed. So instead of feeling like you are trapped in that country, treat that country as a training ground and then prepare yourself for your next move. Because in some cases, relocation is not always a straight line. Sometimes it's like a staircase, step by step, and eventually you'll reach where you want to go. Now, let me talk about another category of people. This one is usually common: students. Many people want to relocate through study abroad, and education abroad can be very powerful. It's a very powerful tool that opens up doors of opportunities for you. It can expose you to new knowledge. It can connect you to global networks. It can open career opportunities. But the Japa mentality can turn that education into a trap. Let me explain. Some students choose a program not because it aligns with their career goals, but because it's the easiest way to leave the country. So you end up choosing courses because the tuition is cheap, admission is easy, the visa approval rate is high. Fine, you get admitted, you get the visa. So they travel, they spend years studying, now they graduate, and then reality hits. Oh, the program they spent years studying has no demand in that country. Now they are stuck. No job opportunities, no pathway for residency, for permanent residency, no long term future. Now they feel stuck, frustrated, and under pressure. Some are forced to return home, others struggle to find ways to remain in the country. All because they chose a program without thinking about the bigger picture. Education should be a strategy, not just a ticket out. Before choosing a study program abroad, ask yourself three important questions. Number one, is this program in demand in that country? Number two, does this program lead to career opportunities? And number three, does the country offer pathway to residency after graduation? If the answers to these questions is no, then you really need to reconsider your relocation or your decision, because studying abroad should move your life forward and not sideways. If you relocate purely to escape from your current situation, you may not be prepared for the challenges that come with building a life in a new country. So I would like to end it here, but if you're planning on relocating this year, take your time, research, ask questions, build a strategy. Because you see, when relocation is done properly, it can totally, completely transform your life. But when it is done blindly, honestly, it can complicate your future. If you found this video helpful, so please like, share, and subscribe. Before you go, let me ask you one question. Would you relocate to build a future or escape your current situation? Drop your answers in the comment section and see you in my next video. Have a good day.